Hello and welcome to my channel Fininvest Niger. My name is Tom Princewill. I'm a certified securities and investment support specialist, and I've been investing in the Nigerian market for the past 20 years. So in the course of this video presentation, I would like to talk about the fundamental analysis of the financial statements of Honeywell Flour Mills Plc. So Honeywell Flour Mills released is a full year result. Now let me explain something that might look a little bit confusing here. You see, the end of year, the end of accounting year for Honeywell Flour is not December, it is March. All right, instead of December, it is March. All right, so this particular result here, instead of indicating full year 2024 as against full year 2025 as is the normal indication for full years of companies ending by December. This other one is March 2025 to March 2026. That constitutes the full year for Honeywell Flour because it is not ending its full year by December, it's ending its full year by March. All right, so instead of from December 24 to December 25, it is March 25 to March 26, making it a full year still. I hope it is understood. Let's not get the entire setup, let's not be confused about it. I think it's clarified now. Okay, so the company generated a revenue of 373.509 billion naira, as at the full year 2025, as against 360.849 billion naira in 2026. All right, so that gives us a percentage decrease of 3.39%. 3.39%. Let's also talk about the company's gross profit. So Honeywell generated a gross profit of 32.245 billion naira as against 36.430 billion naira. That gives us a percentage increase of 12.98%. All right. So for the operating profit here, the operating profit was 18.085 billion naira. All right, as against 16.577 billion naira. That gives us a percentage decline of 8.34%. 8.34%. Now let's also consider the profit before tax. All right, so the before tax profit here was 21.199 billion naira as against 21.896 billion naira. That gives us, a percentage increase of 3.29%. Okay, so we now want to highlight the profit after tax here. All right, the figure was 14.589 billion naira as against 16.487 billion naira, giving us a percentage increase of 13.01%. Then for its total comprehensive income here, all right, the amount generated was 14.589 billion naira as against 16.487 billion naira. That gives us a percentage increase of 13.01%. Now, before we talk about the earnings per share proper, I would like to intimate you with the service I render. And if you join my WhatsApp group, it's a paid WhatsApp group, you get to enjoy regular stock recommendation. I recommend the best in the market, the best in the industry. And not only that, you also have regular portfolio review and rebalancing, as well as general stock market related investment, advisory services. So these are what you get to benefit if you join my paid WhatsApp group. All right. If you're interested, you could contact me on this line. Let me see how we can work together to actually, beef up your investment returns or return on investments. So let's look at the earnings per share here. The earnings per share was 8 naira 84 kobo as against 2 naira 8 kobo. 1 naira 84 kobo as against 2 naira 8 kobo. That gives us a percentage increase of 13.04%. All right, we now come to the company share price here. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and as well as share it to members of your community to enable me reach out to as much as a million Nigerians, both home and abroad, with contents of this nature designed to create awareness, enlightenment, about the activities, the wealth creation activities of the Nigerian stock markets. So the price here grew from 12 naira 35 kobo to 18 naira 20 kobo. So telling you that a 1.235 million naira investment in this company will give you 1.820 million naira. That gives us a percentage increase of 47.37%. All right. So we are through with this segment with analysis. This segment is called the consolidated income statement. We now want to refer to the balance sheet as well as the cash flow statements. Now, the company Honeywell Flour has a shares outstanding of 7.93 billion. This is the number of shares outstanding, 7.93 billion, and the market capitalization is 144.3 billion naira. So you multiply the number of shares outstanding by the company's current share price, and that will give you 144.3 billion naira. This is the company's market capitalization. Actually, it's a fairly large company. Okay, so this is the equity or the shareholders value. So you obtain this by subtracting the company's and total liabilities from its total assets. That will give you the revenue. So in this the equity. So in this case, the equity here, the shareholder value is 53.93 billion naira. 53.93 billion naira is the company's equity or shareholders value. So we now come to the equities per share. So in this case, we divide the value of the equity here by the shares outstanding. Okay, and that will give you a book value of 6 naira 80 kobo. Now, what is the essence of the book value here? The book value on its own is not all that relevant. It's there purposely for comparison purpose. All right, it's there for comparison purpose. So you compare the book value of the company by its share price. In a case where the share price is below book value, that company is considered very cheap. All right. If the company's share price is below its book value and there's an increase in earnings per share, that company is automatically a buy. Okay. So in this case, unfortunately, the company is not selling at below book value. So it's not really cheap when it comes to the book value criteria. It's not cheap as such. All right. So now come to the company's cash flow. This is the cash equivalent, cash at hand, and cash in the bank, giving us a total of 9.81 billion. Now, this is the company's cash position. Now, this actually is quite okay. The cash level is acceptable. It's okay. It's decent. They're not extraordinary per se, because if you look at it very well, the after tax profit here is about 16 billion, and the company is maintaining only about 10 billion naira in cash. Some companies have a cash position that is even more than than its price, than its profit after tax. In this case, the cash level is a bit lower than the profit after tax, but it's still acceptable. Okay, when you come across a company where the cash position is more than its profit after tax, that company is having a kind of an advantage in this regards when it comes to your consideration, when it comes to its consideration for a candidate of your portfolio or not. All right, so let's look at the PE ratio here. The PE ratio is essentially the price earning ratio. So you divide the company share price, divide the share price by the by the earnings. So this is the full year earnings. So you just carry out a direct division, divide this by this. If it were to be a first quarter result, you have to analyze the result by multiplying it by 4. In this case, is a full year result. You don't multiply by 4. You simply divide, the share price by the company's earnings, and that will give you what? 8.75. In other words, you are buying 1 naira units of earnings in this company for 8 naira 75 kobo. It's like buying an item in the market that is valued for 1 naira. You are buying that item for 8 naira 75 kobo. It shows you how expensive, or the premium you are paying for the value obtainable from that company, all right, or from that item, as the case may be. So I think we are through with analysis here. Okay, I would like to round up with giving us a recommendation on this particular company. Although, what we are doing here is entertainment in nature, it's for academic purpose, but all the same, I will not round up without giving us, a recommendation. And the issue is that my recommendation essentially is a personal, it's a personal opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, except you join my group here, where we can work more closely together. But for now, I'm not your financial advisor. You understand? So, considering all this, actually, if I were you, okay, if I were you, I won't really rush to invest in this company. Since the company brought out its full year result quite late, not really late, at least, it's in order because it ended March, and the result is coming out by around, is it April or May, thereabout. So if I were you, I wouldn't really be in a hurry. I would like to see the company first quarter result. Okay, if it is as good as this or better than this, I can go ahead and buy into the company. But for now, if you have a shares here, if you have shares in this company, you can keep your shares. You're not expected to sell. But if you really want to buy, I will advise you wait for the first quarter result to come out. If it really reinforces what is obtained in the full year result, you can go ahead and buy the company. That's my recommendation. If you have it already, hold on to it. If you don't have it, wait for the first quarter result to come out. If it is okay, if it is favorable, you can go ahead and buy into the company. Of course, when it's out by God's grace, I will analyze it and see whether whether you should buy it or not. So we're now waiting for the first quarter result to be out. So after the analysis, that will determine whether we're going to buy or not. But for now, if you've had the company already, you can still hold on to your shares. So thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to watch other videos in my channels as well. They are designed to make you more, conversant with the stock markets, and I'll help you to hone your skills when it comes to stock picking. So thank you very much for watching.